Welcome back to the shop. So this is going to be an update video on all the projects that I have upcoming. Well, some of them have been around for a couple years, but things I want to get done hopefully this summer, at least get one of them knocked out, and then we can start on the next one. The first project I want to get done this summer is I want to get a new front end on this go-kart back here. I plan to, in order to make that happen, a lot of stuff. Basically, we're going to revamp the go-kart. Right now, it's more set up like a drag setup. It's a really straight line. Turning radius is really wide. Suspension's not very good. I would like to make it more of an off-road kart with as little modification to the frame as possible, but it needs a new front end. The front end that's on there is actually just a snowmobile front end. It's the suspension off of a 79 Yamaha Exciter 440. Very outdated, stiff. Not a whole lot of turning radius to it. We'll zoom in on that more just in a second, but I bought a sweet deal. Let me get this in over here. I got a 96 Polaris Indy 440 complete sled. It's obviously, you can see it, the engine here. I'll show you in here. The engine's torn apart. The person that was working on it started tearing it down and then decided they didn't want to put the time in it. Cool. The engine in the go-kart over here is a 95 Polaris XCR 440. Exact same motor and exhaust pipe with a little more aggressive port timing. Or maybe the exhaust, maybe the pipe is a little different. They're slightly different, but the base engine is like the exact same. Exact same platform. So all the parts are completely interchangeable. Awesome for me. And I have the wrong pipe on the go-kart. I'll go through that in a second. Got this whole sled, 60 bucks. What a deal. So I have two options for upgrading the front suspension on this go-kart. I'm not sure if I want to modify the suspension from this sled and make it work on that go-kart. Just take the whole front end of this sled, slap it on there. Or if my original idea was to tear apart a four-wheeler, take the front suspension off I have a big Polaris four-wheeler over here, I'll show you. And really just revamp the entire front end of the go-kart. And then it'll get a four-way hydraulic brake, well, three-way. I'll just do a hydraulic brake on the rear drive shaft input or output, and then we'll do a dual hydraulic brakes on the front, like the four-wheeler already has set up. So, anyways, got this for a steal right before winter. 60 bucks. We're gonna take the speedometer off it. We're just gonna gut everything on it, transplant it on the go-kart, because like I said, I engine swapped the go-kart. Well, actually, I don't know if I've said this. We'll go through the go-kart in a second. Okay, so the go-kart here, like I said, it's a drag rail. It's a long form, long wheelbase, like drag setup go-kart. We got this, holy moly, for my brother's 15th birthday. He's 30, about to be 32. Sounds right. Anyways, almost like 15, 16 years ago. Crazy to think about it, but yeah, that's about what's right. So it had a 79 Yamaha Exciter 440 in it. And it was sweet. I think it was awesome. Just has one singular, very small original input mechanical brake. It overheats very fast. There's basically It's almost no brakes on it, to be honest. So this is the, anyways, yeah, the mechanical brakes heat up too fast. There's no braking power. So, I shouldn't say no braking power, but very minimal. Very minimal brakes. The front end here, let me make sure it's good in the shot. Yeah, let me move this a little bit. Yeah. So the front end here is, like I said, it's stiff. Get on here. Yeah. It's basically non-existent. Horrible for off-road. Very, very bumpy. Kind of just plan to eliminate it. You need to get at least, at the very least, get some sort of A-arm. I think it's what they call it, a swing arm. Swing arm suspension. Anyways, yeah, we're going to chop this off, revamp the whole front end. Because, yeah, it sucks. Awesome for a straight line. Really not bad for straight line, like ripping up and down the gravel or something, but it's a pretty sweet unit. Sort of it's like sitting it. Got room. Ugh. Obviously no power steering, it's just a go-kart. But pretty sweet. Not too bad at all. Has a, I used to have a 5-point harness, but I think we lost the top section. So it's just a lap belt. And I thought about putting some sort of windshield or plexiglass on the front here, so that if we do off-road it, it would be nice to have some sort of protection from impalement if you crash. I don't really want to get impaled. I mean, you know, maybe somebody does, but not me. So that's pretty sweet. That's the plan for that. I'll go back through, jump around a little bit. I'll go back through and show you exactly what I did here. Don't know if we quite need to. Oh yeah, we're good here. Don't need to mess around with it too much. So now I'll drop it down. So on the back end here, I replaced the motor. Like I said earlier, I put in a 95 Polaris XCR 440. Just took the motor though. I didn't. Motor, standalone, clutch, motor, whatever, primary clutch. Didn't have the right exhaust pipe. So right now we're running the wrong exhaust pipe. They're supposed to put out, the output's supposed to be like 85 to 90 something horsepower. It's pretty big swing, but whatever. It's supposed to be around, I just say around 85. Sure, it's not supposed to be for a healthy motor. I scarcely believe with this exhaust pipe that we're getting that. I don't think it doesn't run bad, but I don't think it quite runs like it's supposed to. So we're going to, I plan to take this pipe off. I bought that Indy 440, which has a pipe that's actually tuned for this engine. It might just be slightly off on the port timings, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure if I read correctly, studied correctly, they should be like 1-to-1. So I'll be able to get all the performance out of this engine. That'd be sweet. We'll get all 80 horsepower, so let's get out of it. I can't really give you a power estimate of what it does. The gearing right now, this car will do like 70 miles an hour down the road. It gets there pretty quick. Main issue we're having, well, there's a lot of issues with this. What I would like to do is get this gearbox brake assembly swapped out with the one that's in the snowmobile currently, so that it has the correct, we know it's built for 80, 90 horsepower or whatever. This one is, like I said, it's from a Yamaha Exciter 440, 79. I think it's, the output of that motor is like 50 horsepower, 60 horsepower thereabout. So when this engine is tuned properly, we're probably going to be abusing this gearbox a little heavily, which it doesn't really do. It's just a chain drive on the inside. Input, output to the wheels. I mean, that's all it does. But we need to get rid of this teeny tiny brake disc. Like I said, it overheats immediately and you lose brake power. Like, it's terrible. We need more meat there. So hopefully we can get this, get the gearbox and brake assembly out of the Polaris, get it on here. But one thing, if I have time, all this is just time, but I would like to. Oh, and this is water cooled, so this is a radiator out of a 81 Goldwing. And this fan I don't actually have wired up, so this is just kind of there. But we don't ever really let this thing idle. So whenever you're driving, let me show you. Let me collapse this a little bit and do some manual walking around here. Bear with me. Okay, so we're in travel mode, so sorry if it's a little unstable, but we'll try to make sure that I'm not going too crazy. So, yeah, I'll keep the wide angle, that's fine. We are going to, oh yeah, talking about the radiator. So, yeah, the radiator fins here. This is the radiator. Reservoir, I don't even know if that's the right placement, to be honest. I just kind of copied what it had roughly for level change in the Goldwing. I don't actually know if that's correct, if it actually does work as a reservoir properly or not. I really don't know. Overflow down here, just runs down the back. Yeah, right down behind the seat there. Yeah, down there. Anyways, yeah. Get that remounted. Get this, fits in there. It just fits in there perfect. Like it was meant to be. Couldn't have been better. But we're gonna get the front end. We'll go to the four-wheeler here in a second. One plan I do have is we're gonna gut this four-wheeler. Show you in a second. And I'd like to put reverse in this. Doesn't necessarily need high-low, but it should have reverse because turning radius being so wide, it just can't turn around easy. It's a pain in the ass. But I think I have room. Either I can do a couple different things. I can either put the gearbox here, the transfer case / transmission here, mount it all on this, and then it has an output shaft for a brake to attach there. I can get that on there. Or I can put it in the middle here. Got just enough room to split this shaft and build a framework to hold the transmission right here. And then I'll have just a through and ignore the output shaft on it. And then I can set up the linkage to shift. So that's kind of what I'll have to bounce in between. I gotta tear it apart and see what I really think would work well. I do have a spare here that kind of fits. It'll be the same dimensions. So get this around. So there we go. Our input output here. So this is a transmission, a spare transmission I changed before. So either this can go right here in place of all this framework, and then we have a, oh, here, can't really see that super well. So either we're replacing this transfer case and brake assembly with this style, which is just a four-wheeler. It's off a Polaris 440. A 425 Magnum, sorry. So we'd be overloading this transmission almost for certain, putting 80 horsepower on it, but it would give us reverse. So I'm almost okay doing that. If it breaks, they're not super expensive. You can find them on eBay for like $100, $200. Not 200. I think I bought the replacement for this one for $130. So it's not terrible. A little expensive, but not bad. But they're inline, so it's a input, output, or vice versa. You can spin it, yeah. Then you have a reduction on your brake down there. So these are 1-to-1 because it's just input output. And your gear selector's right here. You switch this around. And your brake output down there, like I said. So either we do that there, or we replace this gearbox, like I said, with the assembly and the snowmobile over there. And we put this here in this little area in here. I could just squeeze this in here. And just get rid of this output shaft. Because our brake's going to be on here instead, so it doesn't matter. So just cut this output shaft down or whatever I want to do with it. Just have an inline, use the input, output, and just put it inline here, build the framework there, and just have 2 spline couplers on to couple this drive shaft. Or we get a clutch here, because this is supposed to be where this is the secondary clutch. On the input shaft here is supposed to receive a clutch, your secondary clutch, like normal. So this would replace this bearing housing here. And I use the framework over on here. Place this. Get this out of the way so I can describe what I'm saying here. Over here. So then, instead of having this carrier bearing for our secondary clutch here, you'd use that transmission in place here and just run your secondary off it. And then you just have a through shaft to your other transfer case there. Like I said, this is just me explaining what I think, possibilities that could happen here. I don't know which way is better, to be honest. We need new brakes though. So I do want to replace this transfer case here and brake assembly. So that does need to be replaced at a minimum. So we'll think about it. But anyways, we'll go over to the 4-wheeler that I would like to. So like I said, there's 3 different things that need to happen here. So here we have a Polaris 300 4x4, mint condition. I mean, like, everything looks really good. The only problem is, it's mint. Really, really good shape. Transmission's bad. So this 4-wheeler has the exact same transmission as this blue 4-wheeler over here. And it's a 2-stroke, so then here's the thought process. We can make a Frankenstein 4-wheeler. Take the motor and transmission out of that and put the motor and transmission out of this Magnum 425, make that a 4-stroke, do something with the motor over there. Take the transmission out of here, we know is good. Engine we know is good. Toss it in there, because this thing is whooped. I mean, it runs and drives right now. It's sweet machine, which is why I hate to part it out, but it's not. That is a mint condition 4-wheeler in the back over there. This is not. So what I would like to do, like I described before, either I could take the front end off of this and somehow get this onto there, or I could take a 4-wheeler front end from a nice big 4-wheeler like this, extend the control arms, or add different towers. Got the nice long travel suspension here. Nice and cushy for off-road use. I think we adapt this front suspension. Give me a second here. Sorry about that. So I think we take this suspension off and re-put that on there. I don't know. That's the thought process. And I'd like to get a little more ground clearance, so we'll raise this up, because there's probably 10 inches of ground clearance on the back here. I think if we take this hinge, where this frame is split, here's our suspension. It's not horrible. But I think if we raise this up, we're going to widen this gap here. So we'd have to re-weld or add an adapter onto these onto these shocks here. So if this goes up, this gets widened, and we're already as long as the shock will go. So we're gonna have to, yeah, move these brackets or build an extension of the bracket. One of the two. But get those moved, get this up a little more. That'll shorten our wheelbase a little bit. So we lifted that up off the ground. Our wheels will come closer together. Just going up. And we revamped the front end for a tighter turning radius, because, I mean, let's try to get her. Yeah, I mean, that's as much as the wheels turn. Pathetic, absolutely pathetic. And there's no adjustment, no more adjustment in these. That's what she's got. So get these to have at least, gosh, at minimum 10 degrees more. 20 degrees more would be awesome. And a little shorter wheelbase, we'll have a nice turning off-road vehicle with reverse and good brakes. So, I mean, that's kind of the four-wheeler project I would like to get done this year. It's a multi-episode series. And I could use a bigger gas tank, but I'm not worried about it. Kind of redo the jank. A lot of this, we host a party every year. And for a couple of years in a row, I was trying to get a new machine running for people to drive around and just have fun on. So a lot of the stuff I was doing on these is rushed. Like the death machine here, rushed. I mean, a lot of stuff is rushed. I would like to slow down a little bit, do stuff nicely, semi-professionally, make it look good, make it a little safer. So that is the next summer project. So anyways, that's the update video for what my current projects are. One project I want to get done for summer for sure. By the end of next year is have that, or end of this year, I would love to have that go-kart redone. I don't have a lot of free time, so I'm not sure how well that'll be done, but we'll try to get it done. Have some good content for you guys. So thanks for watching. Keep following. Hopefully I entertain you enough to where you enjoy my content and support me in the future. So thanks for watching, guys.